countdown? I'm here. I'm just getting set up. And I don't know. Let's see. Let's go home and see if there's other stories. Okay. Do not disturb. You boys got a headache. 19 and FedEx. Soft. Let's just give that. Oh, we'll just choose this. Okay. Hit the thumbs up button. Okay. Where's my scene? There's my scene. We're gonna go over this. I've got a headache, so just be forewarned. Let's see. Open with Google Chrome. 10 stocks to buy and hold for the next 5 years. Ugos puts those out. I'll give you my thoughts on some of those. Apple. Morning, Jacob. If you didn't know, Apple reshuffled their executive lineup. I have a warning. Not a warning. This has happened before. So, J.P. Morgan is the NVIDIA of banking, says Mike Mayo. Amazon. I agree with James Ford. It's just too cheap. We're going to look at, let's see, NVIDIA, because there's a death cross painting that you can put on there. Here are defensive stock, the best defensive stocks to play right now. Because, let's be honest. Nike. Oh, I don't want that one. We don't want that one. Hold on. I got to change this. We're going to go to this. Biggest stock movers Friday. Okay, there we go. And we're going to put this here. Boom. Okay. Cuz that gives all the stuff. And we're going to start out with this one. Because we're getting a test today. It's not grumpy. I don't know if I'm grumpy. Hey, Harold. Morning, Rusty. I don't know if I'm grumpy. I'm just more... I went to bed at 8:30 last night. Didn't feel great. Haven't slept great for the past few days. So, and I wonder if it... And I woke up with a headache. And I wonder if it's the pollen. Or it's the smell of this damn screen that I have to clean. Because, man, I don't brush my teeth in the morning, so I usually just wake up and come in here. Well, I wake up. Here's my morning routine. I wake up, take the dogs out. I usually have a little bit of breakfast. And I watched a YouTube video this morning at like 3 a.m. about Google. Let's see, Google AI Lab. This one, Home for AI Experiments. I should be logged in. Sign in with Google. I am signed in with Google. Let's do that one. No. Next. Agree and continue. Okay. We're going to go back to, oh, look at all this. Video FX. Let's go back to Google AI Labs. And experiments, tools for anybody, AI mode, data science agent. I have to go through all this. Daily listen, experimental audio. I mean, just sessions, community. I have to look at all that, but it's been amazing. Yeah, let's see, it's 34 degrees right now. We're supposed to, it says 62. How the hell does this temperature work? I mean, again, grumpy Gary. So it's 30, it says 36. Why does it, they say 34 on my effing watch? 36 here, but by 5 p.m. we're supposed to be up to 62. So sunny conditions will continue all day. Wind gusts are up to 17 miles an hour. So I have to put my drone up to see what's going on. Yeah, I'm ready for spring too. I mean, we got a taste of spring and then it was just brought back. Okay, I'm going to get going on this one. Let's go to the Qs. I still have no hope for a huge rebound, but okay. Let me hit record. Good morning. It is Friday, March 21st. I am somber today. Low energy. Went to bed at 8:30. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I've been overeating, so I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go to bed early, turn on a movie, I'll fall asleep in bed. Wound up falling asleep, waking up at like midnight, not being able to get back to sleep for an hour. I watched some YouTube videos on Google, how amazing their Gemini 2 stuff is right now. And then I kind of went back to bed, and then I woke up, and then I put this whole together. We're going to go over its triple witching day. We will Google exactly what that is. 10 defensive stocks that you can play right now. Nvidia, Amazon, JP Morgan, Chevron, Meta. We'll talk about that one yesterday. It was interesting. Apple's making some shakeups. 10 stocks that you can buy for 5 years. It's not my list. 10 stocks. Eli wants me to look at a stock, so I'll do that one. Paid members. I have on my list that I'm going to put together my personal shopping list for you. I still have to do that, so you may get it today, you may get it tomorrow, but again, if you're a paid member of the newsletter, that's going to come out for you because I feel like it's important for me to put that together, and I try and be as authentic as possible. Remember, this podcast is it was started because I wanted to. I've been doing this in the morning for 20 years now, 25 years. As long as I've had an account where I just sit down for an hour and look at stocks, and that's essentially what this podcast is. So it's not me, it's me kind of pointing out to you what I'm looking at. That's it. So if you want to ask me about a stock, one of the things that people have started asking me on Spotfiy about, they're asking me about a particular stock. Don't just put a symbol in and say, hey, can you look at this one? I think it was Church and Dwight was the one last night. Somebody asked me to ask the Church and Dwight. I don't own it. Why would I look at it? And you tell me why you want me to look at it. Is it because you bought it and you regret buying it? Is it because you want to buy it? Well, if you want to buy it, tell me what you like about it. Remember, this show is just me looking at stocks. It's not, hey, okay, I'm going to go look at this one for you. This is my strategy. And that's the entire point of this show, is it's my strategy. And I'm sorry, I woke up with a headache. I promise not to be too preachy today. But again, this is my strategy. It's my stuff. It's supposed to help people. You know, I've been very successful in life, and I've been successful in trading. I've been successful in investing. So hopefully some of that rubs off. But right now, I have a lot of optimism in the market. And I've been saying that for about 3 weeks now. I didn't time the top. Here at 535 on the Qs, I was saying, hey, the algorithm still has us in. You know, I think I even bought some at like 540. I think I bought some even on the way down. But you want to know something? I also have some way back here before 2020. I also have some during this 2022 drop. So I've got an average cost basis where if I buy at the top, it doesn't hurt me. It just sets me up for the long term. And that's my point is, if you're hurting today, your portfolio may need to be rebalanced. And I was just talking to a friend right before, texting on Facebook Messenger. Yes, I still use Facebook Messenger, but it's for my Android people because I can't stand green bubbles. I still can't stand green bubbles. But I do, one of the things we were talking about was, buying at the top. He got stressed out in January and risk tolerance. And we were talking about that. We were talking about, buying at the top and then, people who just haven't sold and people who are uncomfortable. He got uncomfortable. He sold out. And he said, I look like a genius now, but it was just more risk tolerance. I didn't feel comfortable. And it wasn't the large majority of his portfolio. The large majority of portfolio is VOO and QQQ and other ETFs. He just got uncomfortable. So understand your risk tolerance, understand your strategy, understand the point of this podcast is not necessarily to get you into things. It's me getting into things. So being authentic and being, part of the thing, I want to put out to the paid members what my watch list is. I won't put out my own portfolio. I won't tell you when I trade. I use Savvy Trader to try and guide some people. Doesn't work all the time, but that's not going to make me poor. The point is setting yourself up for the long term. So we're going to go over that. Triple witching day. What is triple witching day? Well, let's go to perplexity. When you hear something like that and you don't know what it is, what is triple witching day? I know I can go to Investopedia. I know I can go to a bunch of places, but perplexity. Triple witching is a significant event in the stock market that occurs on the third Friday of March, June, September, and December. It refers to the simultaneous expiration of 3 types of financial derivatives: stock options, stock index futures, stock index options. The convergence of expirations typically leads to increased trading activity and potential market volatility, especially during the last hour of trading, known as the triple witching hour. Okay? So you're going to see volatility. And you know how you track volatility? You go to the VIX. Okay? Go and look up the VIX. Find some. Seeking Alpha lets you look up the VIX. You just type in VIX. And if you look at one day, what did we have yesterday? We had this morning, we have an increase in the VIX. It dipped under 20 yesterday. And that's what you want to see. You want to see this thing under 20. Is it going to hold under 20 with a triple witching day? I don't know if that's likely. Okay? U.S. stocks enter on top of this, that is triple. Almost $5 trillion in options expire. That's a crazy amount. And now, will they start buying protection on the downside for further out? Will they let these expire? Shortly after the opening bell, data from the National Association of Realtors showed us U.S. existing home sales rising 4.2% from January, 4.26 million in February. Easily beating the estimates of 3.9. So we had a nice little bounce yesterday. Economic calendar, also has the Conference Board's monthly leading indicator update. There is nothing that's taking this market up. You're waiting until April 2nd. Just telling you that one right now. We're going to see volatility, and then on April 2nd, if the tariffs come in, you'll see a bunch of stocks go down. That April 2nd is not priced into the market yet. And FedEx and Nike said it so last night. FedEx said their guidance does not include tariff impact. And it was bad. Nike shares slipped despite beating full quarter 3 estimates as the company guided for double-digit revenue decline. Okay, they're taking all the footwear stocks. All you people who are staring at people's feet because either you have a foot fetish or you're trying to figure out the next on. Yeah, it took all of them down. Is that a bad thing? Maybe not. You know, here's the thing about Nike, and I pointed this out. If we go, pointed out on Spaces yesterday, I said even if Nike blows it out of the water, okay, their forward PE is still 34. I mean, that is with the stock coming and crashing down 28% over 1 year. 5 years, you're only making 6%. Look at some of the Mag 7 on this one. Look at the other Dow stocks. This one, it still trades at a super high value. And their growth, they're talking about bringing it down even further than 5% year over year. So it's not shocking that this one's down 4%. And quantum computing, qubit, quantum computing, QUBT, down 11%. That's just a bet. I mean, the quantum stocks are bets. You had your quantum day. Jensen Huang said he doesn't even know if his 30-year projection on quantum is correct. Could be 5 years. Could be quicker. They're opening up a quantum center in Boston. So maybe these are good bets. I don't know. Quantum computing still needs to be proven. None of these are making money. So it's just a bet. It's just a bet. But again, Nike and FedEx, two enormous companies that reported last night, not good. So what do you expect of the market? It's got to be down. NASDAQ futures down 1%. S&P down 0.86. You know, we can look at the bond. If you go and look at the bonds, where's the 10-year? It's at 4.22. It was down 0.019 yesterday. 1 month ago, it was at 4.49. They want this to go down. Do not expect any relief from this market until interest rates come down. And if we get to 3% on the 10-year and you're not expanding growth, something's wrong. This is a time to just reset your portfolio. This is like 2008. This is like 2000. This is like 2018. It's a time to reset your portfolio. Now, don't sell any of these stocks at a discount. I'm not. If you're still feeling bearish, best defensive stocks now. This is a list of stocks that Steve Kress goes into, and he goes, why? Healthcare pick. Healthcare is very defensive. He looks at consumer staples, Clorox company. Okay? He looks at utility companies. I have my favorite utilities. He looks at REITs. Okay? He gives you specifics on all of those defensive areas. And he gives you the reason in that article. I would say right now in the healthcare space, if you haven't looked at it, UNH has come back and Luigi is still in jail. Okay, UNH, I've said it before, you can trade between 450 and 500 as it gets up here towards 511. The 50-day has started to turn. It is completely oversold. The RSI is at 68. Everybody's running for the exits. Is this one you want? It is still a good company. Look at this weekly chart, and I've pointed this out many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 6 times if you want to point this one. Where we saw it just hit close to this number. I should move this one. This particular one needs to go over here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Since when? June 2022. And it's been in this cycle. Okay, if you bought up here at 550 on April 4th, 2022, you're still negative. But this is a defensive stock. Look at how the MACD has reset. Look at how the RSI is still below 50 on the weekly. Do I think that you get up here to 550? Maybe. I'd rather be buying at 470 than 511. But pick which defensive stocks you like. And if you're feeling bearish, here's a list of stocks that you could get into that Steve Kress says have good fundamentals, and then you go and chart them. Okay, let's go look at Clorox. Let's look at Clorox as an example. What's Clorox? CLX. CLX is the symbol. Is Clorox good? Well, look, it's kind of traded sideways. Now, during this downturn, it's turned down since December. It hasn't been super defensive, but the MACD looks like it's ready to go back up. And does this one have good fundamentals? Let's see. Let's go and look at Clorox right now. The quant says it's a strong buy. It's moved to a strong buy. It just moved to a strong buy at 147. You're trading at 145. So maybe, and it's a consumer staple. Maybe, I heard from my cousin who's in the hospital that they are warning about COVID and an increase in New York. Maybe that's a good one. So if you're still feeling bearish, find it. Now, let's talk about NVIDIA, because this is a custom indicator built by Trendspider, okay? Golden and Death Cross. You can go to Perplexity and ask what a golden and a death cross is, but it's just the 50-day and the 200-day moving in and out. They have identified this, okay? It is a historical bull and bear pattern. When you get the death cross, it's when the 50-day goes under the 200. The golden cross is when the 50 goes over the 200. And those are typically good. Log in and import this. And we'll take a look at the NVIDIA. I have the MACD up on my thing. We'll take a look at the daily here. Look, see the blue line right there on the red line? The red line is the 200. The blue line, and this tells all of the automated trading, go and sell it. Go and sell it. Now, I will tell you from my 4-hour algorithm, this has a 62% win rate. The average gain is average win is 17.97%. You're not making 17%. If I bought in at 116, am I selling out at 118? If I'm trading, yes. If I'm buying it long term, I'm not selling it. I'm holding on to that because I think 116 is a fair value for this, but the market is taking it down. Import this into your setup. You can scroll through all the stocks in your portfolio. It's a great indicator. And they built it for you. You don't even have to do it. They built it for you. Okay? This is James Ford, podcast favorite. He's been on me on Substack a few times. AI bubble burst. Amazon is a no-brainer. Amazon is a no-brainer. Okay? This is his entire article. I agree. It's too cheap. Amazon is a strong buy in the quant. Amazon is a strong buy from Wall Street. And it's a buy from Seeking Alpha analysts. Look at that pullback. You're right in the middle of your 52-week range between 151 and 242 at 193 pre-market. There is no reason not to add to Amazon right now. This is a strong company. If we go into a recession, if the tariffs come, yes, this one could get taken down. Okay, it's number 2 out of 27 consumer discretionary. Chinese one, JD, is number 1. Go and chart them. If you want to look at the 4-hour algorithm on Amazon, I look at it, it makes me 68% versus 109%. I will tell you, I have not used the 4-hour algorithm on this one to sell. I have used it to buy. And you can see that red line right there. What is that? Well, when you go to the weekly, and I anchored this at the 2023 lows, because remember, Amazon pulled back during 2022 a lot. If you bought Amazon in July 2021, you're just back to even. And yes, I bought in July of 2021. You're just back to even. I've been adding to this one a lot. I've been adding to it during this time. Okay, the green line is the support when you anchor it during the 2023 run to 2024 July. And then when you pulled back, this seemed to be support. We've broken down again. But it's still a upward moving trajectory. Now, the 50-day, you're testing that. You're right below it. The 200-day on a weekly is at 153. Boy, where does Amazon trade in the 52-week range? Between 151 and 242. So could it go down to 151? Absolutely. Will it? I don't think so. I think they are doing things very, very well. So Amazon, for me, too cheap. I like to add to it. I already have a large position, so I'm waiting to add to it, but I'm adding to it under 200. And I like this price at 192 right now. But triple witching day, it's a Friday. I'm not doing it. Now, maybe you want to do financials because the reality of financials is we have not seen the Trump initiative for banks specifically. And Mike Mayo, who I trust, I like Mike Mayo. He's Wells Fargo's leading bank analyst, and he says JP Morgan is the NVIDIA of banking. I don't like JP Morgan, okay? And I'll tell you why. It's a personal thing with me. I think Jamie Dimon completely knew about Jeffrey Epstein, and I think he still took his money. So I don't trust him. Okay, I like Jamie Dimon personally because I think his stance on getting back to the office, I love him standing up there and cursing in front of all of his employees. You lazy motherfuckers need to get back in the office. I like that. I like it. I don't like the ethical portion of the Epstein decision. And yes, it was a decision. You can't tell me they didn't know that this guy had an island. They were funding the island. They were the bank of Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't like it, but it's the best in breed. And honest to God, it is the best in breed. I don't own this one. I think I've traded it a couple of times and I just felt dirty. And so I don't. But 231 is the algorithm. Now, you may say, well, what does the algorithm do? It makes you the same as buy and hold. Okay, you win 68% of the time. So why not buy it when it tells you to buy it? You don't have to sell it when it tells you to sell it, but maybe it's a good thing because this one sold it at 265. Boy, you get the chance to buy it back down there at 231. That's it. You know, look at the RSI, look at the MACD, learn your technicals. And their earnings are coming up April 10th. We have earnings right around the corner again. It just seems like we got out of earnings season. It's starting up again with the banks, and JP Morgan is usually one of the first. And again, when Mike Mayo says, hey, it's the best one, Jamie Dimon said, we're not buying this one back at 2 times book. Let's go see where JP Morgan's trading. What's their book value? It's 116. Your 2 times book value. I don't like it. You know what I like as far as banks? I like Bank of America. Bank of America, under 40, buy it all day long. It's a $50 bank. I like Citigroup. This one, book value, $99 or $100. It's trading at 71. I like Wells Fargo. This one's a strong buy in the quant. Wells Fargo, for me, it's a buy. I think it's an $80 stock. It's trading at 72. JP Morgan, I think it's up there. You know, for me, don't feel comfortable. It's right in the middle of the 52-week range. It might be a $280 stock. I just feel dirty buying it. You know, Bank of America, for me, better value. You know, they're both holds in the quant. There are issues with both banks. Now, Wells Fargo, this is a strong buy in the quant. And the valuations, that a little bit stretched. This is a rebound stock. I like this one. Wells Fargo is one that I like. I own it. Yes, I own it. You know, one that came up yesterday. This is a Josh Brown stock. And I will give you what he said, okay? Maybe it's worth a buy now. Now, in the core portfolio, Exxon is the oil company that I have. These two typically trade right in line. We can go and let's look at Exxon versus Chevron. First, we'll look at the fundamentals of Chevron. It's a strong buy in the quant. Simple as that. It's a strong buy in the quant. When did it become a strong buy? At 149. You're trading at 164. Now, what does Wall Street think that it's worth? They think that it's worth 176. You don't buy this one for 10% in a day. You buy this one for slow and steady. That's why you buy it. Now, the summary of this one, we can go and look at the chart and we can put in select symbols, XOM. And we put this in. This is the type of research you want to do. And when we look at XOM and we look at a 1 year, Chevron is up 6%, Exxon is up 2%. So Chevron's making it, doing better. When we look at 3 year, Exxon is doing far, far better. Okay, but I'll give you the 2 reasons that Josh bought this. Look at this over 6 months. Chevron is outperforming Exxon. Okay, over 1 month, they're about the same. Over the last 5 days, Chevron's outperforming by a little bit. So I'll give you his reasons why, and then we'll go look at the chart. Okay, it's found support at the 200-day, and we can go look at the chart. Let's look at the daily right here. It found support at the 200-day, and it has. It broke down here in December, but it's found support just in March, last week, March 12th. and it's found support. Okay, it's been in this zone for a year and a half. Let's look at a weekly. Yes, look at this going all the way back to May 2022. You're seeing that resistance. This could break above that 180 if it moves that from resistance to support. And look at the MACD, look at the indicator. It could move into that direction. Okay, they are drilling big in Venezuela. Trump said he wanted to take away their Venezuela drilling, but here's the catch. And this is the catch. Trump is rumored to consent to continue to allow them to drill in Venezuela. And the reason is, very simple reason. Because if they leave Venezuela, guess who's moving in? It's China. Okay, and the Hess acquisition. Exxon is blocking their Hess acquisition, and you can Google all of this. Just know that I listened to it. The Hess acquisition is big. It's a Ghana situation that they're worried about. Chevron just bought a ton of Hess stock, basically to say F you to Exxon. And here's a third reason that you may want to look at this one. It may be why I'm looking at it. It's the 5th largest holding in Berkshire. And we know that Berkshire has just, it's gone in the opposite direction of the entire market. Okay, there's your elevator pitch. That's why you want to buy. Again, you should have this elevator pitch for every stock in your portfolio. Before we go to Apple, I'm going to show you a crazy chart of Meta, because Meta soared over $600 yesterday. Okay, METD, which is the bear case. It's a bear ETF on Meta. That was the one to buy, or options. Because when you got over 600, it couldn't hold it, and it just fell. This is just indication of the market. The market wants to rally, but it can't hold it. Sellers start showing up. Look at how it filled that gap on a 5-minute and just rejected down. Now in pre-market, you're at $580. This is a steal at $580. We got a MACD cross up on the 4-hour here. Okay, it's just fumbling around. You have an entry in the algorithm at 596. 549 is the support. You're trading at $580. Is that a good long-term buy? Well, you look at the weekly and it's still a little bit stretched. I would say that 549 has provided support, not through this downturn, but it was resistance here. If you can hold that 550, then I think you've got your support. If you can't hold that 550, look down at around $500 or between 450 and 500. That's the way again, remember, the podcast is how I see these things. This is how I'm doing it. I told you yesterday how I was playing NVIDIA. Tell you today how I'm playing Meta. Okay, and the largest thing that I have in my portfolio is Apple. Apple shufflers exec ranks in efforts to improve Siri report. Okay, I want you to remember this particular day. We'll go and look at Apple, because Apple right now it's at 210. It might get to 200. It might get to 180. But 210, in my mind, fair price. If what has happened in the past happens now. And again, Tim Cook didn't fire anybody. He just moved stuff around. But I think this is a moment where they promised AI features and the AI features aren't happening. Okay, they're moved out. Siri, it has not performed the way they want it to. They're now shuffling things to make sure that they try and catch up. This is the same thing as last year, where they said, hey, we don't have Apple Intelligence. Then they rushed to get it out, and at WWDC DC in June, they got it out. And that was June of last year. And so if you had bought last year during the January, during this slide, say you bought at 189, okay? You bought during this slide down here. It's still positive. You had this nice little, resistance up here at 200, at 220. We broke down below that. Okay, we broke down below that resistance line right there. I think you're going back to it. And honest to God, I think it's fine. The algorithm got you in at 213. I am not selling this. In my mind, it is too cheap to sell. I'll sit there with the money. I don't need the money. It can sit in there. Is it optimized? No. Am I the best, protector of capital? Absolutely not. But in my mind, Apple's just too cheap to sell. Am I adding it? If I didn't own it, I'd add it right now. Honest to God, I think it's fine. It is expensive. Understand, it is expensive. You got a valuation. You're paying 30 times forward earnings for revenue growth of 2%. They have to grow that revenue. And right now, they're just not doing it. They're cutting back some of the spending on Apple TV Plus. But again, the thing that drives this is iPhones. And if they can sell additional iPhones, 1 megapixel in a camera is not going to sell an iPhone. So you're going to have to hold on for a while. Now, Twitter, Ogus, says 5 stocks that will outperform in the next 5 years. Does he know for sure? Absolutely not. New SOFI, Melly, NBIS, HIMS. I like NBIS and I like Melly of that. Don't like HIMS, don't like New. 5 foundational stocks that will outperform over the next 5 years. UNH, we just went over UNH. If you bought it like 4 years ago, you're still, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2022, you just even. Taiwan Semi, I think, absolutely blows that out of the water. I love ASML. If we're building fabs in this country, if NVIDIA is going to start building in this country, if Intel is going to start building in this country, if AMD is going to start doing all the fabs in this country, ASML and Taiwan Semi. Meta, I love. And Amazon, I already went over. So I believe in the 5 foundational stocks that will outperform. These 5 growth stocks, Melly, if you're a paid subscriber, you know how I feel about Melly. But there's 10 stocks. Now, Eli wants me to look at ALLT. Let's look at ALLT. Now, Eli does have Seeking Alpha, and he does have Trendspider. So he's probably up on you guys, meaning that the tools that he has are the tools that I have. And again, if you want any of these tools, link trees down below. Here's Trendspider. Here is the Seeking Alpha bundle. And if you just want Seeking Alpha Premium, we're going to use Seeking Alpha Premium right now to look at this one. And I'm sure he found this. Beat up small cap stock. Looks interesting. I put it on my watch list. Contract with Verizon. And also looks to expand in the EU. That's an elevator pitch. And that's what I want to see when you give me a stock. Don't just give me the symbol. Tell me what you like about it. Now, what I don't like about this is it's got a market cap of $239 million. There are Burger King stores that have more revenue in a year than this market cap. Okay, let's go and look at the financials. They're making $92 million in revenue. Let's look at their summary. Their valuation is a bit stretched. They don't have a PE and it's trading at 105 times forward earnings. Doesn't always rule it out because growth could take that and make it positive. But revenue growth down 1% year over year. It's a system software company. So profitability, we want to know profitability. It's got a 69% profit margin. That's good. Now momentum, A+. Look at this. I don't know that it's beaten down. That momentum looks damn good. 3-month performance of 25%. We can go look at the chart. And then you go look at the revisions. Okay. There's one person that's brought this down. There are no analysts. Let's see. Wall Street, it's one analyst says it's a buy. And they say it's worth $13 and it's $6. So this is not in my wheelhouse. Full disclosure, this is not something that I would put money into. I want something that makes money. I want something with a good company, with good products, with good profits and good management. I know none of that. I don't know if it's a good company. I know it doesn't have good profits because it's not making it. I don't know anything about the product and I don't know anything about the management. So it's not in my wheelhouse. Together with its developed sales and markets, network intelligence and security solutions in Israel, Europe, Asia, Oceania, and the Americas and the Middle East and Africa. The company's ALOT secure management platform provides end-to-end security management infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. You can find out more about the company. But for me, it would be an absolute, if I were looking at this one, I would be looking for a strategy that works on this. Okay, and the 4-hour algorithm makes you 277% versus 138% if you buy and hold. Over the last 24 months, 23 positions. That kind of technical strategy does fit in my wheelhouse. Now, looking at this one, it got you in at $5.30. Why wouldn't you have been in at $5.30? You put it on your watch list. You put an alert in Trendspider to alert you the next time it says sell, and you take a look at it. Now, the last time you had the chance to buy this as it crossed up on the 50-day was back here, October 16th at $2.99. Again, this one doesn't hit my wheelhouse of buy and hold. But if it does for you, then you can buy and hold it. For me, I want something a little bit better. Now, does this one make sense to buy right now? For me, I would say no. With my strategy right here in the 4-hour, the average win is 20.94%. So let's see what this win right now is. Let's see where it is. It's at 18%. Am I risking to get an average win of 2%? No. That would be how I would look at it. Now, maybe I want to use the 65-minute algorithm that I developed on this one. Maybe that one works a little bit better. We're going to get rid of that segment. Maybe this one doesn't. 9.7%. You know what? Let's go down and look at the stock battle one that I posted for everybody yesterday. Let's look at that one, stock battle 1-hour strategy. Let's see if this one works. This one loses you 8% versus 14% over the last 62 days. So it doesn't work. You have to find a strategy that works. Right now, the 4-hour strategy works. So if I were looking at this one and I were to find this one on Seeking Alpha and I were to say, ooh, this ARLP looks like it's had a huge pullback. Well, it doesn't look like it's that huge. I mean, it's traded between $1.99 and $9.44. For those of you without Seeking Alpha, let's go over to FinViz because FinViz is free. Okay, this tells you the market cap is $242 million. Tells you there's no PE, so they're not making money. Tells you their book value is $1.25 and they're trading at $6. Tells you the analyst, the target price, $13. And you can see that the last one was August 5th, 2024. And Northland Capital, $13. Let's go and check out some of the insider stuff. Director proposed sale at $4.64. That was in December. He hasn't sold the thing. It would be up there if he sold. So shares outstanding, 38 million. Shares floated, 28 million. You're going to have problems at 28 million shares actually fulfilling this. So again, the tools are out there for you to use. Eli, I know you're probably a little bit more risk tolerant than I am. This one for me would be a no. And it's based on my principles of good company with good products, good profits, and good management. I just don't know half of it. So I would defer to a trade. And again, when people ask me about stocks and they throw things out there, Eli did the right thing in asking me, hey, I like this one. It's a beaten down stock with a contract with Verizon. They're looking to expand. That's a good thesis. But for me, if they're not making money, then, again, I'm a little bit old school. I like large cap tech. This isn't something that's in my wheelhouse. So what do I do when something like this pops up? I'll tell you exactly what I do. I would go over to Linktree and I would look at Seeking Alpha, this bundle. Okay. The bundle saves you $159. This gets you premium, which you just saw me use to look at that stock with the quant. And by the way, not just the quant, you can use the AI tool. And I'll look at that in a little bit once I tell you these offers. But you save $159 off this bundle. Now, say you don't want the bundle. Say you just, the reason you want this is for just the premium, which I just used. Get your free 7-day trial and $30 off. It's nice and simple. But say for me, and this is my thing, you want a curated portfolio that beats the S&P, that is 2 stocks per month where they tell you to buy on the 1st and the 15th, and they tell you when to sell. That's Alpha Picks, and you get $50 off. Okay, when you go to my Linktree, you get $50 off. I got a question yesterday. Should I subscribe to this if I'm only putting $2,000 into this portfolio? No. And the reason is it's $449. That's the price. You save $50 with my link. But you better damn well be able to make that $449 up. And $449, if you're looking at $449 as your fee for an ETF, you better make sure that you have $40,000 or $50,000 in there because that's like a 1% fee and it's per year. Now it does beat the S&P. But go and use Seeking Alpha Premium instead. And go and pick some stocks for yourself, like this one. Look at this report that it gives you. It gives you everything. You don't need to ask me about a lot. You can say a positive raised by analysts on Seeking Alpha. Partnership with Verizon is set to drive significant revenue. The successful turnaround of Allot is evidenced by positive free cash flow. Allot faces challenges with unpredictable revenue growth, CapEx heavy spending. The lack of gross margin expansion despite an increasing SECAAS revenue mix raises skepticism. Execution risks are highlighted by declining deferred revenues and the CEO's unimpressive track record. Good management, that would scare the shit out of me. So, but you can trade it. You can trade it all day long. But again, it has a lot of these stocks. When you go into this top stock and you look at screeners, yesterday I went over KINS and how I found a strategy that works for it. CLS, great company. I'm looking to add to that one. Now, just, spoiler, it's on my list of things to watch. So I've got that one. I already own a bunch of it. But again, if you've got a smaller account, then just use the free 7-day trial. See if you like Seeking Alpha. Again, everything's over here on Linktree. And if you want the 4-hour algorithm, go and sign up for Trendspider. It's a $20 freaking trial period for 2 weeks. Go to yesterday's newsletter. How do you get to the newsletter? You just go over here to Linktree and you click on the newsletter. And yesterday's newsletter, literally down here, I think it's one of the first, it's the last thing. You scroll down. Let's see. It's the strategy, stock battle strategy. Go and import this strategy. Okay, this one. We will just look at this. Let's look at the stock battle strategy because yesterday we saw, let's see, stock battle. There it is, a 1 hour strategy. We're going to look at, and we looked at it ALLT, but we looked at it at KINS, which is the top quant stock. This one had you in at 1537. You're at 1576. It makes you 17% over the last 62 days, whereas buy and hold makes you nothing. 11 positions over 62 days, you win 64% of the time. Again, get Trendspider for this. And then somebody said Hood actually trades really well on this. Well, over the last 62 days, 39% versus losing 8%. And this is a small enough trial that you can get this. Now, when you sign up for the yearly on Trendspider, when you're done with your trial on 14 days, sign up for a yearly plan. I'll give you the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm is what I personally use to manage my portfolio. And yes, I absolutely use it daily. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Whether you're a paid newsletter subscriber, my email is right there. You can reply to the newsletter to me. Any of the socials here. If you have any questions, hit me up. I will talk to you on Monday. Let's hope triple witching actually works out in our favor today. Again, it's volatility. Doesn't mean it's going up or it doesn't mean it's always going down. I just have a feeling that the trend is your friend right now, and I wouldn't put any money on it. So, okay, take care. See you. Bye. Is it quad witching or is it triple witching? I thought it was triple witching. Oh, Ford was a bad one. Yeah. You got balls if you put Ford in with the tariffs, Chris. Although I tell you, I think you were adding under 10 if I remember right. So maybe you made something. April 2nd with and right on that 200 day. I mean, let's look at the daily real quick. Yeah, I think you probably have. It's the top of the Bollinger Band. I'd get a little bit nervous. But yeah, that's all you want. In this market, a small profit is a big profit. I mean, one that I've been holding is NEM, and it seems to have hit a plateau here. 3 days at around this 47. I have it at 50, and the reason I have it at 50 is because, I mean, you can clearly see if I just put a line right here, this may be some resistance. So I think my average purse is like 46 or something, but I think it's going to 50. I hope, but MACD's crossing down. I mean, that's a daily, weekly. That's why. The weekly here, 50 was the 200-day. So, and this week, it looks like the high is 48.67. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough, if the first administration was like this, and people that don't remember or weren't really into the market during the first administration, this is 100% how it was done. I mean, it's slightly more chaotic this time, because I think he's been feeling more empowered, and I do think that Project 2025. I don't know that he. Good morning. I don't know that he necessarily. I think. Let's be honest. He lied. Project 2025. He read it. He knew what it was, and he's following the playbook. But I don't think it was any shock that he's following that playbook. It's very much a conservative agenda, and that's what America wanted. America voted for it, and you just have to know what you're dealing with. I'm not a doomsayer. I'm not somebody who is going out there and trashing Tesla dealerships, but I'm also not somebody who went on January 6th, and they're both bad. And the fact that he pardoned all the January 6th people, if you're pissed off about the Tesla stuff and you're not pissed off about pardoning the January 6th folks, you're part of the problem. I mean, that's honest to God. It's the same damn thing. January 6th was protesting, and they destroyed property, and they threatened people. Same thing. Netflix is cool as fuck on your mobile phone. They have some cool games on your mobile phone. I think that's an unappreciated filing activation notification system. What's fans? What the hell is this? Hold on one second. I got a text, and I think it's spam, but oh. Records are filed with index, and data is submitted to clerk's office. Oh, okay, that's my real estate deal. That's my real estate deal. I use my iPad, Eli. But the mobile phone, I mean, they have a golf game on there that I really liked. It was kind of cool. I don't drink. Honest to God, I mean, listen, there are a lot of things that I agree with on Trump. I mean, you can hate me for it. You can, say root me for it. There's a lot of things. The message that he tells is a bad message. Like, for instance, and I'll give you examples. I think he did a great job of taking on China in his first term. I don't think Hillary ever would have taken on China. And I think he did a great job with that. I don't think he protected us during COVID. I think he lied to the American people. I also think his response to the actual election was bad. Was the election unorthodox? Yes. But what's more important is the peaceful transfer of power. And he didn't want a peaceful transfer of power. So I have a problem with that. He was also right, and this got lost in the message. He was also right in his assumption that we should borrow at low rates. So he wanted the Fed to borrow money and to issue more debt at low rates. And they didn't do it. And I think that probably would have helped during COVID, right before COVID. Again, it's the message. The messenger. Well, the message got lost with the messenger, and so I think the way that he does things is just very poor. And so if you had a manager like him, the people that latch onto him are greedy motherfuckers who just want power. And that's what I view him as well. And so I don't necessarily agree with him, but some of his policies are right on. Like the Department of Education. I mean, I'm not throwing my hands in the air saying you shouldn't do that. We're lagging behind the rest of the world in education, and we're spending more than the rest of the world on education. So, you know, RFK, I don't like his stance on vaccine, but the guy's got it 100% right with the poisoning of American people with food. You know, his Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, boy, if that dude could fillet Trump, he would. I think he's played with his balls before. Honest to God, I think he's probably played with his balls. Under a table, whether he took his shoes off and gave him a little rub down on there. You know, I think he's filleted Trump, but who am I? I'm nobody. Again, I vote. I'm not going to post about politics if it doesn't, you know, affect finances. And my opinion is my opinion. Just like I'm not going to hate anybody else for their opinion. I'll gladly debate you on opinions, but at the end of the day, you know, I have friends who are pro-life. I have friends, you know, I'm particularly pro-choice, but I'm a man. So, morning, Mark. Sorry, political discussion. I probably shouldn't do these things. Okay, I am going to get out of here. What time is it? 9:30. Market just opened up, and we're red. I mean, we're red. I can't imagine that we... Oh... No, but Eli, I mean, the guy looks great for his age. I mean, if you're picking a figurehead, because let's be honest, that's all that it is. It's figurehead. And RFK's whack job. I mean, let's be honest. MSTX down again. My friend sent me this Wall Street Bets that somebody in Wall Street Bets actually bought a screenshot in November of him buying at $200. And he's held on. And it was his life savings because he believed in Michael Saylor. And he didn't understand, supposedly, how double leveraged ETF on MicroStrategy works. But I got out. I think I got out around 40. I think if I'm right. I think it was in February I got out. I think it was later 40. Maybe it was in the 30s. I don't know. Let me see. Let me look at. I had to respond to my let me see. Ooh, my cousin's getting out of the hospital. Sweet. She had a hip replacement. Yeah, I'm down 0.7, and it's because Apple's down 0.7. NASDAQ's down 0.33. I think that's where QQQ is. Yeah, no, the Qs are down 1%. What the hell's going on? Oh, that's the, yeah, it's not updating. There we go. NASDAQ is down 0.92. The Qs are down 1%. Oof. Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, let's just look. VIX is up 4%. So, okay, I'm out. I'm going to post these things. I will talk to you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we wind up today not down 3 or 4%. Triple witching day on before April 2nd, that could be ugly. But I have a feeling people will be buying the downside, which will push us down. I think that's essentially what it's going to be. So, okay, take care. See you guys.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.